What if I told you that forgiveness is not just an act of kindness, but a hidden gateway to profound energetic transformation? That the very moment you release resentment, your entire frequency shifts, unlocking new possibilities, healing deep wounds, and dissolving the invisible chains that have held you captive. For centuries, spiritual traditions have spoken of forgiveness as a sacred key, an alchemical force capable of turning suffering into wisdom, pain into peace, and darkness into light. And yet, in a world that often equates forgiveness with weakness or surrender, its true power remains hidden in plain sight. But what actually happens when you forgive? Not just on a psychological level, but in the unseen realms of energy and consciousness? Why do some people experience spontaneous healing after letting go of a grudge? Why do ancient masters emphasize forgiveness as an essential step to enlightenment? In this video, we will unravel the mystical mechanics of forgiveness, diving deep into its historical and spiritual significance, exploring how energy shifts when we release resentment, and discovering practical techniques to activate this transformation in our own lives. Because forgiveness is not about excusing the past, it is about freeing your future. And the moment you embrace its power, you step into a new reality where peace, liberation, and higher awareness become your natural state. Prepare to see forgiveness in a way you never have before. Are you ready to begin? Forgiveness is one of the oldest spiritual principles known to humanity. From the sacred scriptures of ancient civilizations to the teachings of modern mystics, it has always been regarded as a force that transcends the physical world, reshaping the very fabric of reality itself. In ancient Egypt, the concept of Ma'at, the divine order of the universe, taught that balance and harmony could only be maintained when one lived with truth and forgiveness. To pass into the afterlife, a soul's heart was weighed against a feather, symbolizing purity. A heart heavy with resentment and vengeance could not ascend. This reflected a deep understanding that holding on to pain binds us to lower states of existence. In the Vedic traditions of India, karma is not just about actions, it is about energy. When you refuse to forgive, you are caught in an endless cycle of energetic entanglement with the person who wronged you. This is why sages and yogis emphasize vairagya, detachment from the emotional burdens that tether us to suffering. Forgiveness is the cutting of karmic cords, liberating both yourself and the other person from the cycle of pain. Buddhist teachings take this even further, stating that anger and resentment are like grasping hot coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. The Tibetan Buddhist practice of Tonglen teaches practitioners to breathe in the pain of others and breathe out compassion, symbolizing the transmutation of suffering into light. Even within Christianity, Jesus' profound words, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do," reveal a truth that transcends religion. Forgiveness is not about the other person, but about our own ability to transcend suffering. The mystical Sufi poets of the Islamic world, such as Rumi and Hafiz, spoke of forgiveness as the art of dissolving the illusion of separation. When you forgive, you no longer see yourself as separate from those who hurt you. You recognize them as lost souls wandering in ignorance. In this realization, the burden lifts. Across cultures, the message remains the same. Forgiveness is not just a moral virtue. It is an energetic act, a spiritual technology that dismantles the barriers between the self and divine peace. But why does this work? What happens on an energetic level when we forgive? To answer this, we must dive deeper into the mystical science of energy shifts and how our consciousness transforms the moment we let go. What truly happens when we forgive? Beyond the words, beyond the emotions, there is something profound, an energetic shift that alters not only our internal state, but the entire reality we exist within. To understand this, we must first recognize that everything is energy. Every thought, emotion, and intention carries a vibrational frequency. When we hold on to anger, resentment, or betrayal, we are unknowingly binding ourselves to low-frequency energetic patterns, patterns that keep us locked in pain, anxiety, and even physical distress. Think of it this way. Imagine you are carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents an unresolved hurt, a wound left unhealed. At first, the weight might seem manageable, but as time passes, the burden becomes overwhelming, affecting your posture, your ability to move freely, and even your outlook on life. The longer you carry it, the more it depletes your strength. Forgiveness is the moment you decide to drop the backpack. It doesn't mean that what happened was right. It doesn't mean you have to forget. It simply means you are no longer willing to carry the burden of pain. But why does this create an energetic shift? In ancient esoteric teachings, the human energy field, often called the aura, is seen as a luminous, ever-changing force field surrounding the body. When we hold on to resentment, dark clouds form within this field, disrupting the natural flow of prana, life force energy. This blockage manifests as heaviness, tension, and even chronic fatigue. Studies in modern neuroscience reveal that holding on to grudges activates the amygdala, the brain's fear center, triggering a continuous fight or flight response. This floods the body with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, keeping us in a state of energetic contraction, closed off, defensive, and unable to receive the flow of life. However, the moment we forgive, something extraordinary happens. 1. The heart chakra reopens. The heart is the energetic center of love, connection, and divine wisdom. When we forgive, we release the dense energy blocking this center, allowing us to experience peace, clarity, and even heightened intuition. 2. The karmic cycle dissolves. Every resentment we hold on to is an invisible thread binding us to the person who hurt us. This is why people often say they can't stop thinking about someone who wronged them. The energy link remains intact until we consciously release it. Forgiveness severs this energetic cord, freeing both souls to move forward. 3. The frequency of the body shifts. Energetic frequencies are measurable, and emotions like love and forgiveness vibrate at higher frequencies than anger and resentment. Dr. David Hawkins, in his research on consciousness, found that emotions like shame and anger vibrate at below 150 Hz, while love and peace resonate at 500 Hz and above. The moment you forgive, your energetic frequency shifts upward, aligning you with higher states of being. The mind enters a state of expansion. Neuroscientific studies show that forgiveness activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain associated with wisdom, higher reasoning, and emotional regulation. When we release resentment, we shift out of the primitive survival state and into a state of expansion, allowing for greater spiritual insight and emotional resilience. This is why people often describe the act of forgiveness as a weight being lifted, because at an energetic level, that is exactly what is happening. But forgiveness is not just about letting go of the past. It is about stepping into a new state of consciousness where you are no longer controlled by the wounds inflicted upon you. In the next section, we will explore the deeper metaphysical aspects of forgiveness, how it affects time, karma, and even your connection to the universe itself. Forgiveness is not just an emotional release, it is a transmutation of energy, a shift in how we interact with the very fabric of reality. Ancient wisdom traditions, from the Vedic texts to Hermetic teachings, reveal that forgiveness holds a far greater power than we often realize. It is not merely about moving on, it is about reclaiming our energy, dissolving karmic debts, and aligning ourselves with the natural flow of the universe. But what does this really mean? 1. Forgiveness and the law of energy exchange. In esoteric traditions, every action, thought, and emotion is seen as an energetic transaction. When someone harms us, they create a disturbance in the natural balance of energy between two souls. This imbalance forms what mystics call an energetic tether, an invisible cord that binds the wounded and the wounder together. If we refuse to forgive, this tether remains intact, continually feeding our energy into the past. Every moment spent replaying the pain, reliving the injustice, or wishing things had been different is a moment we are unconsciously giving away our life force energy. But when we forgive, we cut the tether. We reclaim the energy that was once lost in anger and resentment, redirecting it back into our present reality, where it can be used for growth, healing, and creation. This is why people who hold on to grudges often feel drained, stagnant, or stuck in repetitive life patterns, because their energy remains tied to something that no longer exists in the present moment. 2. How forgiveness transcends time and karma. Many spiritual traditions teach that time is not linear but cyclical, and that our experiences are not isolated but deeply interconnected across lifetimes. In Buddhist and Hindu philosophies, karma is not about punishment but balance. It is the universe seeking to restore energetic equilibrium. When we refuse to forgive, we lock ourselves into a karmic loop, ensuring that the same patterns of suffering repeat until the lesson is learned. This is why unforgiveness attracts similar painful experiences into our lives, not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to break the cycle. Forgiveness, then, is an act of karmic liberation. It dissolves the threads that bind us to old wounds, freeing us from the gravitational pull of past pain. In doing so, we open the door to higher timelines, where new experiences can unfold without the baggage of unfinished energy. 3. The connection between forgiveness and manifestation. One of the lesser-known secrets of manifestation is that unforgiveness is one of the greatest blocks to receiving abundance. When we hold on to resentment, we exist in a state of energetic resistance, preventing new blessings from entering our lives. The universe operates on the principle of resonance. We attract what we vibrate. If our field is cluttered with unresolved pain, there is no space for new manifestations to take root. This is why those who practice forgiveness often experience sudden breakthroughs, synchronicities, and even unexpected blessings. In mystical traditions, it is said that the heart is the gateway to divine abundance. But a heart weighed down by resentment cannot fully open. When we forgive, we clear the obstructions within our energy field, allowing the currents of prosperity, love, and spiritual insight to flow freely once again. The spiritual mechanics of instant forgiveness. While most people see forgiveness as a long and difficult process, the truth is that it can happen in an instant. The moment we recognize that forgiveness is not about the other person, but about freeing ourselves, something shifts. Consider this. If someone handed you a burning coal, would you grip it tightly, letting it sear your flesh? Or would you drop it immediately? Holding on to resentment is the equivalent of gripping the burning coal, thinking that our suffering will somehow harm the person who hurt us. But the moment we choose to let go, the pain ceases and healing begins. This is why some of the most enlightened beings throughout history, Jesus, Buddha, Rumi, spoke of instant forgiveness. It is not about excusing harmful actions, nor is it about denying pain. It is about choosing freedom over suffering. The key to instant forgiveness lies in shifting perception. Instead of seeing the wound, see the lesson. Instead of seeing the enemy, see the unconscious soul trapped in their own pain. Instead of seeing loss, see the doorway to wisdom and transformation. When we make this shift, we transcend victimhood and step into our true power as conscious creators of our reality. The deeper question: who are we without our pain? For many, pain becomes an identity. The wounds we carry shape our self-perception, our interactions, and even the way we define our own worth. To forgive means to shed an old version of ourselves, one that was shaped by suffering. And this is where true transformation occurs. Because beneath the wounds, beneath the resentment, beneath the pain, there is something pure, unbreakable, and eternal. That is who we truly are. In the next section, we will explore practical techniques to embody the energy of forgiveness, so that you can experience this shift not just as a concept, but as a living reality. Understanding the metaphysical power of forgiveness is one thing, but how do we actually do it? How do we release years, sometimes lifetimes, of accumulated pain and resentment? True forgiveness is not about forcing yourself to feel okay with what happened. It is about energetically transmuting the wound, dissolving the attachments that keep you bound to the past, and stepping into the higher frequency of liberation. In this section, we will explore practical, esoteric techniques that will allow you to fully embody the energy of forgiveness and experience its transformative power. 1. The violet flame of transmutation. One of the most powerful esoteric tools for forgiveness comes from ancient mystical traditions, the violet flame. This is an energetic frequency associated with purification, transformation, and the dissolution of karmic ties. How to use the violet flame for forgiveness? Find a quiet space and close your eyes. Visualize a brilliant violet flame surrounding you, gently flickering but immensely powerful. Bring to mind the person or situation that has caused you pain. Imagine placing this entire situation into the violet flame, watching as it dissolves into pure light. As you do this, repeat the mantra, I release, I forgive, I reclaim my energy. You may feel an immediate sense of lightness, or you may need to repeat this practice multiple times. Either way, you are alchemizing dense energy into higher vibrations. 2. The cord-cutting ritual, releasing energetic attachments. Unforgiveness keeps you energetically tied to the person who hurt you. These attachments, sometimes called etheric cords, can drain your energy and keep you subconsciously reliving past wounds. How to cut the cords of resentment. Close your eyes and take deep breaths until you feel centered. Visualize a golden cord connecting you to the person or situation you need to forgive. In your mind's eye, see yourself holding a sacred sword of light. This sword represents divine power and inner freedom. Speak with conviction. I now sever this connection with love and wisdom. I am free. You are free. Imagine cutting the cord with the sword, watching as it dissolves into light. Take a deep breath and feel your energy returning to you. This ritual is not about rejecting or wishing harm on someone. It is about freeing yourself from the energetic burdens of the past. 3. The mirror of higher perspective. Often, the people who hurt us are themselves deeply wounded souls operating from their own pain. If we can shift our perception, we can move from blame to understanding. A powerful exercise to shift your perspective. Sit in front of a mirror and look deeply into your own eyes. Imagine that you are looking at your soul, not just your current self, but the eternal divine being that exists beyond time. Now, bring to mind the person who hurt you. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what pain might they have been carrying? What unconscious wounds might have caused them to act as they did? Could it be that their actions were never truly about me, but rather about their own inner turmoil? Open your eyes and say, I see beyond the illusion. I choose peace. This practice is not about excusing harmful actions, but about recognizing that hurt people often hurt others, and that their behavior was a reflection of their own suffering, not your worth. 4. Ho'oponopono, the ancient Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. The Ho'oponopono prayer is a simple yet profoundly powerful technique that has been used for centuries to dissolve negativity and restore balance. It consists of 4 key phrases. 1. I'm sorry. 2. Please forgive me. 3. Thank you. 4. I love you. How to practice. Ho'oponopono. Sit in a quiet place and take a few deep breaths. Bring to mind the person, situation, or even yourself that you need to forgive. Slowly repeat these 4 phrases, either out loud or in your mind. As you do this, visualize the energy of pain dissolving into pure light. This practice works on a subconscious and energetic level, gradually dissolving the resistance that keeps us stuck in unforgiveness. Many people report feeling an immediate sense of peace after doing it. 5. Journaling. Writing a letter you'll never send. One of the most underrated but powerful tools for forgiveness is writing. How to do it? Take a blank sheet of paper and write a letter to the person or situation that hurt you. Express everything: your anger, sadness, frustration, or grief. Do not hold back. Once you have poured everything onto the page, end with these words: "Despite it all, I now choose freedom. I choose peace. I choose to release this from my soul." Once finished, burn the letter safely or tear it up, symbolizing the release of the past. You do not have to send this letter. The purpose is to remove the emotional weight from your energy field and send it back into the universe for transformation. Final thought: forgiveness as a gateway to liberation. Many believe that forgiveness is for the other person, but in truth, it is for you. It is an act of self-liberation, an energetic key that unlocks the doors of your soul, allowing you to step into a higher state of consciousness. Every moment you carry resentment, you remain tethered to a past that no longer exists. But the moment you forgive, you become weightless, limitless, and free. Forgiveness is not forgetting. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is choosing yourself over suffering. And when you do, the universe responds with miracles, synchronicities, and a peace beyond understanding. Are you ready to set yourself free? Forgiveness is not just an emotional act. It is an energetic transformation, a sacred alchemy that transmutes pain into wisdom, resentment into freedom, and wounds into light. The moment you forgive, you do not just heal your heart. You shift your entire vibration. You step out of the heavy, dense frequencies of anger and into the luminous energy of peace. You reclaim the power that was once scattered in the past and bring it back into the present moment where your true potential resides. Throughout history, the greatest spiritual masters, Buddha, Jesus, Rumi, and countless enlightened beings, have spoken about the power of forgiveness. Not because it is easy, but because it is the ultimate test of spiritual evolution. It is the final lesson that liberates the soul from karmic cycles. A call to reflection. Are you ready to let go? Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, what burdens am I still carrying that no longer serve me? What pain have I allowed to define me? Who or what do I need to forgive? Not for their sake, but for mine. When you are ready, set the intention. I choose peace. I choose freedom. I choose to release what no longer serves me. Even if you do not feel it immediately, the shift has already begun. Forgiveness is like planting a seed. With time, patience, and care, it will bloom into something more beautiful than you ever imagined. A life unburdened, a heart unchained, and a soul that radiates light. So, are you ready to step into the energy of true liberation? Final words. If this video resonated with you, leave a comment below and share your thoughts. What does forgiveness mean to you? Have you ever experienced an energy shift after letting go of resentment? And if you're on a journey of self-discovery, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We dive deep into esoteric wisdom, ancient teachings, and the unseen forces that shape our reality. Until next time, may you walk in peace, may you walk in light, and may you always remember, the power to heal is already within you.